Hey guys, welcome back. It's test time. It's Testicle Tuesday. It's time for some testicles. It's time for some test proofs, some play tests, some tests. We have sorry, not CGC. We have PSA doing the best CGC impression. I don't know if this is it's my opinion that this is probably just hey, we don't want to get left behind. We don't want CGC to get all the attention. We don't want all the testicles to go to CGC. So we have what is a couple actions that look a whole lot like something that would have came from CGC, but it's coming from PSA this time. And then we also got some allegedly fake autographs. We're going to take a look at those today. We got a lot of things. There's a lot of cleaning up that needs to be done on PSA's end of things. We have trim cards that I'm assuming nothing has been done with them, about them. Some very trimmed in the case, very expensive cards. There's a ton of stuff that they could be doing. There's a ton of cleanup that needs to be done in terms of altered stuff. I mean, there always has been. There's been blowout that shows before and after pictures of a ton of stuff that is altered on the old PSA end of things, but are they going to do anything? Are they just going to wait until no one talks about it anymore? Are they just going to brush it under the rug? Does it not even matter because people just want their cards to be worth more money? Now, what do we have here? We put the blinders on. We have some test prints. Great. Where's the article? No article anywhere to be found, and these are already going up for auction. They're authentic. They're authenticated according to PSA. Where's the article? Where did they come from? Who owned them? Who's bringing them out? How many exist? Why did they exist? Any of that information, all of that information is extremely important. Now, a lot of this comes down to, does the seller, does the person that submitted these, do they have a ton more of them? Are they dumping these onto the market? And then there's surprise, more of them. I mean, there's always a surprise more of them, it seems, with this stuff. Regardless, we have a nice little thread here on E4 by Camrock37. And they say, just going to leave this here and let a discussion ensue. Seems every possible test print is making its way out of the woodwork these days, this time on an upcoming heritage auction. So it seems like PSA, they've decided, okay, they were very, very particular. I guess they could be particular with what they were grading or what they weren't grading if they weren't absolutely certain that this was the real deal. And now, if they're certain it's the real deal, it is my opinion that they should be publishing enough information that other people can be certain that it is the real deal as well. I have no idea if these are covered under authenticity guarantee. No clue. I know signatures aren't. That's a huge issue because if you're going to have people spend money to authenticate a signature and then you're just going to sneaky deek, oh, I guess we don't, there's no guarantee on the signatures. And now with the signatures, there's been a ton of criticism, a ton of examples where people are either altering the signature by removing personalizations, they're either adding their own sketches, they're adding the wrong artist sketches. We've covered a ton of that on the channel here today, but this is it's just irresponsible. It's something that, again, this stuff should be praised. It should be put up on a pedestal. It should be super cool to find out about this stuff coming out, and instead we have it authenticated by PSA or CGC or whoever it is, and there's no disclosure on how many exist, where it came from, what the reason was, who where's the provenance behind it, who was it, who's saying these are real? Is it just a real card with test on it? Is there someone saying, hey, I worked at the factory, hey, I worked with Pokemon, the test on it, that was me that put it there, that was how they were printed out, I brought these home. Now, this is also stuff that's coming out that's Japanese. Is it Akabane? Who flippin' knows? They're calling it test proofs. Again, it could be just part of the giant Akabane leak. I don't have it here today. We'll probably cover it in the future. There's a ton of unknown about that stuff as well. Who has it? Who's buying it? There's a card shop that now they have like walls full of the crap. It's ridiculous. It feels gross. It feels like something wrong is going on when there's no information made up front, there's no transparency whatsoever. It's just like, hey, this stuff's cool and exciting. No one ever knew it existed, but it exists now, and there's a ton of it. And I gotta slap it on the market right away. It's going to be authenticated on the market right away. It's the same song and dance over again. I'm sure there's people that aren't cautious enough. Maybe there's people that don't bid on this stuff. Maybe they're cautious because they don't know what the provenance is behind any of this. Or like the proto stories, where you have the story coming from somebody that owns copies of the thing and is secretly selling one through somebody else. Like, it's just please, just be upfront and honest with this stuff. If you want to put it in a slab if you're a grading company, you wanna authenticate this shit, you should be disclosing everything. Everything. If you know how many exist, if you know who it came from, if you know if it's a story that you're getting from firsthand Pokemon employees, someone involved with the game, just say it. Just say it. I mean, it's gonna be figured out. It'll be pieced together eventually anyway by people that are in the know, that finally figure out as puzzle pieces get tossed out. Eventually, people will figure it out. But guess what? These are gonna sell before any of that information comes out. As far as I'm aware, they're already up for sale. So like, just please, if you wanna play the CGC game and grade this stuff, authenticate this stuff, put all the information out before it goes back to the customer. If you have enough faith in this stuff, that it's absolutely gross. It's like time and time again. Big FBO vibes. These will go high. I mean, sure, it'd be nice to know who they came from, where they came from. Here we have Will saying, curious what info was available here to make PSA comfortable authenticating. No one should be even comfortable buying this stuff because you don't know how many copies exist. There's probably a number. There's probably a number that might be known by PSA and might be known by the person that graded these. We got, essentially, it's the same thing. It's just questions. We have Camera here says, this was my question as well. I'd be curious to hear some more information on what exactly the testing was for, but knowing PSA, I assume they needed something slightly more concrete to be willing to authenticate these. Right. So tell us, if you expect people to buy these, if you expect people to trust your company, then put out the information. You know damn well that a lot of this stuff gets pumped and dumped right away. Well, it's new. They want to make the most money on it. New and exciting. Or if they have competition, if there's more that exist, maybe they want to get it out before the market discovers, what? There's a jillion? There's a jillion of these? I mean, there's probably not a jillion, but there could be a whole lot more. All right, before we get into the next topic, Rattle Hats reminder, order them. Link in the description. We got you got to place an order via the order form on before October 25th. And then I'll accept payments until the 29th. Place the orders. Do not buy one to support me in a financial way. They're expensive. It's the hat that I want. If you want one too, you're able to get one. That's it. Now, number 2. We got number 2. Now, if you covered up the PSA card thing up at the top here, there's no way I'm not guessing this is CGC. I would probably, I'm not a betting man, but my God, if I had to place a wager on this, I would not expect the PSA card post for this bad boy. We have, in the world of Funko Pop collecting, authenticity is key, no matter your genre. While building a collection unique to you, PSA is here to provide certainty. So it's just weird. It feels like a CGC thing because they like to partner with Chumlee, and then also the Funko Pops. It's just like, this is like, oh my God. This is gross. It grosses me out. Different strokes, different folks. If you like Funko Pops, don't let me bring you down. But my God, do you like this? Is it the same audience that likes Chumlee that likes Funko Pops?
When it comes to Funko Pops, it's the wild, wild west. Even though Funko Pops have only been around for a little over a decade, counterfeit copies run rampant. And bad actors swap stickers and other nefarious acts constantly, further complicating what's real versus what's fake. That's why it's so significant that PSA has entered the space. They've been authenticating sports cards and trading cards for over 3 decades. PSA are experts. So when I see a Funko Pop and a PSA holder, I know it's not just protected, I know it's authentic. And that means everything to me. No wondering, only certainty. Even better, they grade the condition on a 10-point scale. When I'm trying to make a deal, I hate heckling with the buyers and sellers on condition.
Wait. He said he hates heckling, and then they corrected it at the bottom to haggling.
What's good versus what's mint versus gym mint. PSA makes it easy. And for Funko Pops, considering how complex these are, 6 sides, countless corners, various components, PSA 10s are relatively rare. I'm excited to have all of these authenticated and protected with PSA, and I increase the value in a giant way with these PSA 10s.
All right, so we have a new record for the most amount of plastic that has been encapsulated into more plastic. Congratulations. I can only imagine years and years from now when these things are plastic inside plastic and made of plastic or vinyl or whatever they might be. These things are just going to be on the earth forever. Now, unless they break down. I don't know if they break down. I'm not sure on the math on that, but I just thought this was funny. I came across this. This is PSA's best CGC impression. Now the link tree, thank you guys for using the link tree. You know we cover the scams and the whams on the channel here, so if you can, before you shop for the things you're going to buy anyway, it's the best way to support the channel rather than sending me money. Click on this stuff before you shop for something you want or something you want to buy for your friends, family, whoever it might be. Maybe you're doing a little Christmas shopping, a little Halloween shopping, and then we got discount codes on a lot of the stuff that I know and I love and that you should probably buy too, if you want to. Again, it's kind of situational, but if you're into trading cards or anything of the sort, you're probably buying your sleeves, you're probably buying your semi-rigids and or top loadies, that kind of stuff. Save some money there. Use the discount code, supports the channel as well. Troll and Toad, Secura's Card Shop, Card Trader, Card Market, get them. Get on it, get using it, make smart purchases. Again, not every purchase needs to be the most intelligent, the most straightforward. That every now and then you might want to open a pack or two, but for the most part, if you're buying your stuff, save some money, do it in a smart way. Stay away from the wheel spins, stay away from the rigged gambling. Regardless, Card Trader, new discount code on the old Card Trader. Get on there. We'll be doing a little bit of coverage, a little bit of testing on the old platform here, trying it out. So essentially, you can order all over the world. And they'll ship it all to them, and then they ship that to you, which is pretty cool. Now, let's look at some briefly, before we get into the fake signature stuff. We'll take a look at, we got PSA. Again, I don't think that there's an article on this. We have these jungle test proofs that have the white border on them. Again, it would be lovely to know who said that was a real thing, who determined this was a real thing, and whether or not this is, like, this one looks like it's hand cut and is just worn down. That's my impression for it. Again, anything that's hand cut, anything that's been altered in any way, even if it's some special thing, even if they want to grade it, nothing against them. If you want to grade counterfeit cards, if you want to grade fucking garbage bags that came out of Chumlee's garbage can, I was going to say butthole, but go ahead. But just say what it is. Say what it is on the label. And then all these grading companies, they have a dedicated page for each one of these cards. There's no reason that it shouldn't say how it was cut, where it came from, how many exist, how many, who was the storyteller? Who is the person that's saying this is authentic? Because this is not just something that some like fucking minimum wage grader, apologies to the minimum, hopefully you guys progress, you move up, whether it's at PSA, whether it's anywhere else. The person that's grading this stuff, my apologies, but without some source of information that should be disclosed, you don't know what the fuck this is. No one does. Albino borders. Cool. Is it real? Maybe. Tell us. Who did it come from? Why is it real? Why did we not see them before? Why are they all of a sudden all over the place? And these ones are hand cut, but that one isn't. Why does this one not indicate hand cut? These say hand cut on them. Good job, PSA, for at least saying they're hand cut. Where'd they come from? Who had them? Was it cut from? It was sheet cut, hand cut. So at least that's disclosed. But just making a little post here saying that its test proofs are unique cards produced while creating new sets, and jungle proofs stand out with their distinct all-white borders. Since these cards are extracted from uncut sheets by hand, PSA includes the designation hand cut on their labels. Great. Who'd it come from? Who brought it home? Was it Shell? Was it someone else? Who's saying what it was, what the process was? Just disclose it. It lends authenticity to it if you prove where it came from and who it came from. That information has to come from somewhere. I don't care if they're shy and they don't want to share it, they don't want their name behind it, then you shouldn't grade it. But just be upfront and honest. Now, we got a bunch of these. We got the old Mr. Mom hand cuts. We got all kinds graded there. Again, sheet was cut up. Who cut up the sheet? Who knows? Leave your guesses below. And then we have a Vaporeon here that was posted on the old. It's authentic. Again, you probably shouldn't be grading or putting a numerical grade to anything that is not factory cut or that has been arts and crafts in any way. Not that you necessarily would want this, because it doesn't look like they did a very good job cutting it out nice and square. But here it is. It says hand. This is not count. Show us. This Vaporeon test proof from the Pokemon Jungle set is a glimpse into the early production stages of Pokemon cards. Great. Who told you that? These prototypes offer collectors a unique glance at a piece of Pokemon history, capturing the behind-the-scenes magic that helped shape the hobby. And then also, I don't like the fact, the double standard, where if it's a test proof, it's fine to cut up a sheet. If it's not, it's not okay. I don't think any of these sheets should be cut up. I think it's a shame that they are. That's my opinion. Everyone owns their own stuff. But if you're going to put hand cut here, but you're not going to grade if somebody cuts up their own sheet and hand cuts it and discloses that it's hand cut, you're not going to put that in a case. It's weird. It's weird to me that you'll do one or the other. But again, this is like, we want to do the test proofs because CGC is doing test proofs. So we gotta keep up. We gotta find a reason to grade this, reason to authenticate this. But again, lack of disclosure on the information that should be available, who it came from. Probably, I mean, if they're authenticating it, they probably should know that, where it came from, or at least bare minimum, who at the Pokemon Company or at Wizards of the Coast said, hey, this is the process. Have their statement, whether or not they're certain on stuff. If they're not certain on stuff, include that as well. Include all of it. Include the entire statement. Do an interview with them. If they don't want to do an interview, get a written statement about it. They can go through, they can clean it up and share the information to the best of their ability. Otherwise, it feels grimy, because people that don't take the time to look into it, which is many people don't have time to do that. Even the most hardcore of hardcore collectors can't tell you who said this was real. I don't know who said it was real. PSA? Does PSA know? Was it them that said it was real? Did they get firsthand knowledge from an employee to confirm that it was real? That's what we want to see. Then we got some swole poke to finish out the video here today. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Thursday if you're watching this on release day. It's Swellpoke with the Sigh. Another day, another PSA submission full of autograph forgeries. I don't know what they're doing. Again, we are without an article, without information. We're cards that say test on them. We're gonna authenticate those. If it's Akabane, I also don't understand. Like, everyone knows that all this crap's coming from him. At least the other stuff, the other playtest stuff. So why is it a secret when something else comes out? It's Japanese. It seems like it's in the testicle realm. Why is it not just say that it's coming from him? Remove the mystery from it. Even if there is mystery, disclose what the mystery is. Disclose the known information. And then buyers can at least make an informed decision on whether or not they want to pay a certain amount for it, whether or not they want to buy it at all. So it's like it's a double-edged thing, because most people want to know more. Somebody might blindly buy it for more, or somebody might want to buy it for more if they know what the history is behind it. The history is important. It's a piece of history. Anyone that's buying it, unless they're just buying it because they think it's going to go up in value, or they think it's, there are less copies than actually exist. Again, be careful with all this stuff, guys. It's sketchy. It's sketchy, and it's only more sketchy when the grading company or the auction house does not disclose all of the information. Please be careful out there, especially with the 8 and 9 cert slabbed autographs. So we got more here. We got some slabby wabbies. And again, we've seen examples where the sketch was taken from the wrong artist and added to the card. PSA is their stance or policy on that, I suppose. From what I've heard from both them and others, is the fact that they do not authenticate the sketch. So the sketch you could draw a picture of a Tyrannosaurus Rex just biting the head off a hippopotamus, and apparently that's fine as long as they think the autograph is real, which also seems to not be the case sometimes. we end up with this, and it's again, it's just a lack of policy, a lack of like care that's put in by them. Largely, just yeah, I get it. They want to make as much money as possible, but they're embarrassing themselves and they're making more of a mess here. It's like if they don't catch certain stuff, like the fake first edition stamps. If they don't catch the fake stamps and they keep grading them, and they're just like, oh, don't worry, it'll be all right. You're making more of a mess for yourself. Now, with the autographs, this is where people are going to get shafted, because I would imagine that most people understand, or at least their comprehension is that, like, okay, PSA's got my back. They authenticated it, so there's a PSA guarantee. If it ends up being fake, I'm golden. But no, that's not the case with autographs. So when you have a mess with autographs here, when your autograph guy, who seemed to be doing a good job, other than the fact that he was cutting up shipping documents from artists and making his own bootleg Pokemon cards, and then I don't know who the replacement is. I don't know who's authenticating these. I have no idea. You would think that they'd want to publish that as well. You would think that that PSA or any of these grading companies would be very proud of the people, the expert or experts that they have behind authenticating this stuff. And the worst part is the information is available. From my understanding, both Alec and Swolepoke, and probably PFM as well, would all offer insight into whether these things were actually graded. Now, there's also just obvious stuff where, like, it's either altered or it's fake, because if the date, I think it was late 2019. If it's anything after late 2019, the Pokemon Company required a personalization on all these cards. So if it doesn't have one, it should be like an automatic rejected. For those of you unaware, PSA offers a 0 authenticity guarantee for autographs. If you purchase a fake and there is proof it's not real, there is no payout or insurance for your loss. So there it is. I mean, I guess that's the incentive. I mean, it looks bad. It looks bad on them. Maybe most people do not see this, or not deep down the hobby, deep down Pokemon, deep throat in Pokemon hard enough to realize this shit. But be careful. If you know anyone that's buying the autographs, again, not my thing. But I do feel for anyone that's getting ripped off, anyone that's getting screwed over with fake autographs. There's just a lack of care going into it. It doesn't seem like there's any resolution. It doesn't seem like there's any plan being put in place to prevent this from getting worse. It's just getting worse, my opinion. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good one. We had a video scheduled today, our video I wanted to put out today, but we had some information go missing. So we're going to have to see if I can track that back down, see if we can get that information back in my hands, and we'll get that piece together. Take care of each other out there. Join the Discord. We got the restock bots. If you're looking for 151, that's been a hot thing at the moment. They are free because I don't like the people that paywall that sort of information. So even playing field, screw those guys. You can have free restock bots, and you can have it'll basically just tell you when something goes back in stock from a lot of the popular places to buy that stuff. Yeah, you buy it. Yeah, you don't get screwed over by the evil scalping discords. No, I guess we gotta take that advantage too. Take that advantage away from them. And make it open to the public so that everyone can buy Pokemon cards if they choose to do so. All right. See you guys.